On this episode of
You like this ship?
the Aegis Idris, or as I like to call it, the Compensator 2000. 2000 as in dollars. So I definitely have a lot to say about this thing, but like all our previous episodes, we're gonna have to start with looks. Why does it have to be flat as a pancake? This thing makes Brie Larson look caked up. Maybe not, they're pretty similar. And maybe I'm the only one that sees a rocket pop every time I look at this thing from the top down, but not anymore. And this, floating bridge design is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I get the feeling that some whipped CIG dev got the idea while he was carrying his wife's purse. She probably gave him a pat on the head for that one. And how old are we? We're painting faces on our ships? Am I supposed to be scared that you're pretending to fly around in a giant shark? I know a lot of you think this is so cool, but with a slight adjustment, you'll see how stupid it really looks. Duh, I'm a shark. And I mean, come on. Somebody needs to answer for this landing gear. I bet just like your favorite ship, you skip leg day too. And as far as their inspiration for this ridiculous landing gear, I can only think of one thing. You see, what Thumper's trying to say is, you Idris fans got no taste. This is by far the ugliest thing CIG has ever come up with. To be completely honest, the Polaris was bad enough, but there's a new king of solo Bob ships in the verse. So just like our Polaris episode, we'll take a look around your new capital ship to see if we can find where your friends are hiding. Nope, don't see any friends here. Not even any role players pretending to be at the shooting range. You could use a different med bay every day of the week and never have to wait. One bottle in this entire galley tells us all we need to know. And since CIG doesn't know how to develop a ship for gameplay, you don't even need anybody in these turrets. Turns out it's true what they say, money can't buy you happiness, friends, or a personality.
But I got the Idris because I can fit so many other ships inside.
Man, who you kidding? You can only fly one ship at a time. I think you got this thing because you're a spoiled brat with a tiny pecker. Actually, scratch that. A spoiled brat with a tiny pecker that's scared to death of getting into a fight. With like 20 million HP between the shields and body of the ship, you're just flying around in your own personal safe room. Man, that's a lot of cold, empty seats. There was a time we used to shoot this ramp open and board the Idris. But of course CIG had to buff the HP of it to protect the precious Idris captain. And there was a time we could at least dumbfire torpedoes in it to get the kill. But of course CIG had to nerf the torpedoes to protect the precious Idris captain. One thing the Idris owner definitely doesn't understand is, the fun part of video games is that you might actually lose. So while pay to win might be a bit of a stretch, the Idris is confirmed a pay to never lose ship. And on the topic of paying, this thing costs $2,000 in store credit. For that you could have got a Polaris, a Perseus, and still had enough for an A2 bomber in the end. Or you could have got this 890, the 85X pictured, and one of every model in between for the price of that Idris. You can really build quite a fleet for $2,000, or pretend you're in a big shark. Hold on a second, the solo Idris captain is up to something. Let's observe for a minute and see what he's doing. Okay, he's running back all by himself. Still running. Must be pretty determined. Oh, I get it. He's trying to justify his purchase here by loading it with vehicles. Damn, there's something especially sad about this. And that's what happens when you put him in a real ship. Flies it right into the ramp of his Idris. This episode's special guest is Red's Resort. He's a high-quality guy that makes high-quality Star Citizen content. You can check it out here. Let's take a minute and hear what he has to say about the Idris. Take it away, Red.
I don't know why you've asked me to comment on this ship, dude. The chances of me staying objective are slim to none, to be honest. I don't call it the Idris either. To me, it's called the Ego Barge, or the Death Star. but I think the overcompensator is more scientifically accurate. Us Aurora guys are swinging like kings out here. These are just the facts I'm afraid. And then there's the whale hammer. That thing on the front that can fire a tungsten slug the size of a small car. Passes through pretty much any target like a finger through soggy bog roll. We went up against an Idris at Hathor once, 6 of us and 3 Polaris versus 1 guy and an Idris. How long do you think it took to take it down? We didn't. He eventually just abandoned ship and went to go backstroke on a pool of gold-plated freaking HDMI cables or something. Like if that thing shows up, whatever you're doing, you're now done doing it. However, if I personally had one, not only would I accept the mandatory reduction in D size, but I would also be making an absolute nuisance of myself, and I wouldn't be giving a single flying fleck of feces about what anyone thought in the process. That's because in my heart of hearts, I know deep down, I've accepted what I am, and that is a stinking hypocrite. But whilst I've still not got one, all you guys with one, scumbags. Every one of you. You'll never find happiness at the bottom of a pool of HDMIs, guys. That's just stupid. I have heard leaving your ship with all the doors unlocked outside Armistice is a very good way to make up for your sins though. Just saying. 07 guys.
Thanks, Red. I'm glad you said it, because I can't stand to talk or think about this ship anymore. We'll see you guys in the next one, and leave a comment if you want to see another ship in a future episode.